Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this will be your reading for Sunday, October, what are the dates here? 17th, I had to look at my notes here. October 17th through the 23rd, 2021. Okay, let me get the camera dropped down and see what's coming up. Okay, so I decided to use the Radiant Rider-Waite, but I have cut this deck down, so it's, if you order these cards or you already have them, you're going to go, wait, what's going on? So, for October 17th to the 23rd, Sunday, October 17th, through Saturday, oops, got to allow for reversals. Through Saturday, October 23rd, 2021, what is it that we all need to know in order to either get on our spiritual path or stay on our spiritual path and grow and evolve our souls so they are just completely, so we're all completely in alignment with our spirits. Mind, body, soul, spirit, all of it, everything. I mean, in the spirit world, it's not separate, but of course we don't have our bodies there, so we carry around these souls that need to be transformed. So what is it that we need to know? We have a full moon coming in this week at 27 degrees Aries on Wednesday, which would be just before 8 a.m. Pacific time, so adjust for your time zone. So wherever 27 degrees Aries lands in your chart, you can expect some illumination. Whatever house that's in, whatever area of life that area of life would be illuminated for you. So the few days, like Monday, Tuesday, leading up to it, because I'm sure it'll pop into Aries a couple days before. So you'll be feeling it. I think we'll all be feeling it Monday. Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday it might feel kind of like a release on, Wednesday morning. Okay, so but for this week, the forces in motion. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Our greatest challenge for the week. We have the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, this makes sense, and these do go together. Okay, so then I'll just do, let's start with 5 cards up here. It may be enough. And let's look at the week moving forward. So we could say, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe if I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I could do that. Why not? I've got room. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, barely fits. And there's the week. Okay. And chopsticks. Or one. Let's see, do these fit? I might have to kind of scrunch them around here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good enough. Okay, so the only thing here is, well, actually, here's our theme in the middle, but I'm also going to read it as the days, But with the forces in motion here being the Knight of Pentacles reversed, it could have us feeling kind of stuck. And like, what do we do, right? Because things aren't so stable. And I have a feeling I think this goes along with, because we're dealing with pentacles and cups together, and the cups have to do with, with this being our biggest challenge, the Three of Cups reversed. Well, goodness, we're in that area of not being able to really celebrate anything, and maybe even kind of feeling sorry for ourselves. It's like, oh no, what's going on, kind of thing. And then on another level, we have to be really careful because, it's Mercury in Cancer, and it can have us really thinking about safety and security. And with these two cards together, I feel like this has to do with, all the ships that are stuck in well, they're not really, they're backed up. They're backed up. They were saying that it looked like the LA freeway, that the port of LA and the port of Long Beach looked like the LA freeway out in the ocean. And there were, big, like the gas tankers that would, you imagine, like the guys would have to go take a gas tanker out to fill the tanks on the boat so that the boats could stay out there, waiting. So Biden has opened up, I'm sure you guys have heard this, I won't go on for too long, but Biden has opened up the 24/7 support to keep it running, and I think he's trying to bring in, extra help. But meanwhile, we're talking food supplies, water supplies, people's wine, people's alcohol, people's, you know what I mean? The things that we would normally celebrate with, now we're like, ruh-roh, what do we do? And I don't know if you're like me, but I mean, I don't do it anymore because I kind of just kind of stay like prepared. You know me, you guys. I'm like four planets in Cancer in my South Node. I am stocked, but I don't tend to like overstock and like hoard, because I don't want to take it, so much that the next person coming along won't have any. I tend to just be, well, with vegetables, frozen vegetables, it's like you can only do so much anyway, right? But, canned things and water, I've got at least a couple of weeks. And when it comes to canned goods and things that are perishables, I've got I don't know, maybe 6 months or a year. I've never like counted it out like I was going to have to ration, but, stock up. And the qualities, the energies are here for us to come into that kind of consciousness of, rather than feeling stuck and woe is me and self-pity and all that, stock up if you can. If you can afford to help some other people who do not have the funds to stock up, do what you can. Donate to food banks. This would be like the perfect week to, and it's the fall, right? But this would be the perfect week to step into this wonderful opposition between the sun and the moon. So the sun at 27 degrees Libra, which is all about sharing and bridging the gap to other people. And Mars is right there with Libra to help us do that, to put that energy into supporting the others. And then with the moon in Aries, it's like, go do it. Yeah, just do it. If you have extra, food stocks, get them out to the food banks. As long as they're not expired, they'll take them. So, like, maybe you bought some things that it turned out you didn't like, and you bought like a case, like 12 cans of some kind of soup, and it turns out it was gross, or it didn't agree with your stomach, something like that. Donate those things, because there are people who can't afford to stock up. They just can't. They either don't have the money or the space or both. So we're going to be thinking about that. These two cards here are going to flavor all these other cards. So rather than feeling stuck, see what you can do with what you have until we eke through this time, because I'm sure it'll shift, and probably, more so by the end of the week. But with the Lover's card here, this card to me is so much around making decisions to, it's Archangel Gabriel, or not Gabriel, Gabriel. And it brings in that quality of thinking about communicating, thinking about and communicating, and going towards what would be the loving thing to do. What would be the place it would bring in, or what can you do to bring in more harmony in relationships? What can you do to make strong connections and strengthen those bonds? And just thinking about it. I think this will be probably all week long because of the way the astrological transits are. And those of you who are members for the family at the family level, I do spend like 45 minutes to almost an hour astrological reading for the entire week and go through many different charts to, at least 3 different charts. For this next week coming up, I ended up having to work off of 5 different charts. But those are up on Sundays for the whole week. So I'm kind of tuned into like what's going on. And it definitely does have to do with, what will we focus on? What will we commit to? We could have some food shortages. I mean, and they're also talking about on the news how there aren't the workers anymore because people have moved on and gotten other jobs, or because they wanted to make more money, or we have, as Americans, we've lost, what was it, like 715,000 people to COVID? I mean, that's, and I don't know how many of them were of workforce age, but, that doesn't help. So anyway, thinking about what is loving, honoring your relationships and creating those stronger bonds with, this can be like soulmate kind of energy if you, if that's what you're looking for. I don't tend to think that way myself, but many people do. And I feel more like we have our soul families. I feel like we could have tons of soulmates out there because, we're all very connected. I don't tend to just bring it into just one. But for Sunday, this is what it's all about, communicating in a loving way and strengthening those bonds. And then for Monday, with the 7 of Cups reversed, and Venus has just moved into Sag, I think the fantasy is gone if a relationship wasn't right. I feel like it can be, if you combine these 2 cards together, this could be a card of really loving yourself enough to let go of any relationships that were in any way confusing and didn't really have any purpose other than making the choice to know what you really want now. Because, sometimes we learn that. It's like, all right, now I know this is what I do not want, and you go in the opposite direction with your consciousness and bring that in, because you have to become aware first of what it is that's not working. Usually. That's the way I always learned. You guys let me know if you found a better way or there was a different way. For you. But anyway, in relationships, this would be like getting out of those relationships where you feel trapped. But then on the level of, food shortages and, for some people, this will all go together, like feeling trapped and now what do we do? There's that possibility. And sometimes especially these 2 cards, we're in that realm of overindulgence and even drugs. And then feeling stuck in a vicious cycle. And so loving ourselves enough to break through that would be the key. I mean, why do we have so many reversals here? Right? You saw me, I mean, I started out with the deck, all the cards straight up, like I always do, and you saw me allow for reversals, and out of 78 cards, look how many, I mean, this is amazing. So getting out of those vicious circles, no matter what it is, whether it's relationships, whether it's too much overindulgence on any level, we can always turn things around when we become aware of it. And then with this full moon coming in Aries, that's definitely the energy to go, you know what, this is enough. I'm moving on. And especially because it's in opposition to Mars, and Mars does rule Aries. So there's a double whammy of like, okay, I'm done. You know, I'm either done with this relationship that has me feeling stuck and trapped, and I'm moving towards something much better, or I'm done with this overeating, overdrinking, overindulging, or I'm done with maybe smoking too much pot, you know, because we're dealing with, you know, smoke here. This card can reveal that. Or maybe, you know, people do edibles for pain control. Maybe there's, you know, maybe you're realizing you're a little more sensitive than you used to be, and you don't need as much. Those adjustments can be made there too. But to most of all, to not stay stuck. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling stagnant, it's time to, you know, get some things moving. And I always find what helps me the most is get my body moving, and then everything else will start moving. But if you can't for any reason, you know, this could be the beginning of the week, could be a wonderful time to get in touch with, you know, with what's really going on deep within your body and in your life, and get in touch with what you really, really want. With this Knight of Cups here reversed, this is where, you know, by Tuesday, if there's anybody in your life who's been really emotionally manipulative, or has, you know, betrayed you on any level, or, you know, has been, like, this can be the card of cheaters, and, you know, people who are just not, they're just not reliable on some level or another, and usually it's those levels that really matter, you know, because we're dealing with a king here, and this is, you know, could be the ultimate of structure in a way that's really healthy and healing. But imagine we're stuck with someone who's abusive, who's violent, and we're feeling trapped. And, like, how do we break away out of that? Because we know we need to leave, because we've opened up to something better. That could be on the table for some people, because sometimes this guy's, you know, when he comes to reverse, he's violent. There's that possibility. And, you know, usually they have a really calm exterior, and then suddenly they blow up. Like, that can happen. If this isn't, and I really hope it's not, but if it's, you know, if it's not in your personal life, I think we could be witnessing these things, you know, in the news. Goodness, because of course, you know, the full moon illuminates. And here we are. This is our full moon day, and this is the Page of Wands. The pages often bring in news, and with the wands especially, there's that, you know, it usually has to do with things that we can be really, you know, enthusiastic about, and it's our, you know, spontaneous real self that comes through when it's upright, but it's reversed. So this has us feeling kind of frazzled, maybe, kind of discouraged, and like we don't have that energy to just go for it. It might be that we're exhausted. And you know how it is when you don't feel good physically. What can happen is that you feel kind of pessimistic, because, you know, your body and your outlook in life are so deeply connected. It's you know, it's it's that quality of when your health isn't good, it does affect all areas of our lives. I mean, I know you guys have experienced that. Like who hasn't, right? So it could be that by Wednesday we're figuring out that we really need to learn how to nurture ourselves better, because our creativity, by Thursday with the Empress reversed, we could be in that realm of feeling, really like we're in a really difficult situation and maybe feeling insecure. And it really does cut down on our creativity. I mean, all of these cards together, to me, they spell. I mean, I'm getting the food shortages. I'm getting the what do we do? Because what if this goes on for a year or so? And we are running into that. We're leading up to our the USA's Pluto return, and this could be part of it if we don't get this figured out. I mean, it's just there. So by Thursday, we are really going to want to get things turned around in a different direction so that we can be thinking about getting other people out of poverty that need to eat, so that we can be thinking about not being wasteful with what we have. The less is more. Maybe we're realizing that we don't need as much, like I was saying before, like to be so stocked up. And maybe we can share what we have that is stocked up, so that somebody doesn't have to go without. So it could be that, it's like the nurturing, mothering energy is released, because we're definitely thinking about it. Now, by the time we're at Friday, well, I'm definitely going to have to do an oracle reading after this. I won't leave you guys hanging with all these reverse cards, I promise. But with this Page of Pentacles reversed, again, here we are. To me, this is food. This is food and drinks. Food and drinks. Food and drinks. You know what I mean? Relationships. So our relationship with what we eat and drink, and anything else we put in our body, we don't want to be in fantasy land and numb ourselves out, because that's not going to get us anywhere. Now, of course, if you have to have surgery and I'm not talking about that. Or if you have hurt yourself terribly and you need some painkillers to make it through, the night, as long as you're careful, I'm not going to ever put anybody down for anything like that. But here, man, by Friday, with this Page of Pentacles reversed, this could be some bad news coming in. This, especially about, supplies, resources, literally material resources, and we're dealing with food here. But then Saturday, with the Knight of Cups, we've got a whole new offer. We have a whole new movement into, this can be like the knight in the, what is that? Knight in shining armor? Or knight in shining armor? Knight in the white, on a white horse that rides in and it's your rescuer. That can happen. That's there, and that, my eye kept focusing in on this card. Actually, these two bookends here that are upright, I think, are the keys to the whole reading here. Is that open up to helping others who can't help themselves, and do what we can, offer everything that we can. Yeah. Okay. So let me close this up, and let's see which deck. Let's do this one. What is it called? It's the empathic. It's the empathic oracle. by Steve Wilson and Michelle Matuzas. She has another deck too that I actually love. It's really beautiful too. So I might bust that out if need be, but let's see. I kind of think this will do it. Okay. Spring. We're moving into fall, but this has to do with something new blossoming in our lives. Yeah, we could be a hero here and there, right? Containers. Oh, Jesus. I mean, oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Okay, so shipping containers? Is that what's going on? I mean, on a soul level, this has to do with boundaries and being careful to not like wall ourselves off in a bunch of little, see all those little squares? The soul wants to be in more of like a round or an egg shape experience. We don't want to be boxed in. But when it comes to a shipping container, they need to be square. And so I have to read it on both levels. So it could take, what I'm getting here is that it could take till next spring for this food situation to get flowing the right way, because, there are things that they can do, and they're definitely focusing on it. It's just another thing on Biden's plate, right? And I'm sure he's not doing this by himself. I'm sure he is opening up to many, many, many. I'm sure he has a huge advisory council on that. And Pete Buttigieg is in charge of the transportation department. So he may be our hero here that brings in something. Now, for us, because this reading is for us, we can focus on how all of life is renewed every springtime. Yeah, we're in the fall, we're heading into winter, but focus here. The guidance I'm getting is for us to focus here when things are blooming again and life is opening up brand new. And this is especially, springtime is an Aries card. And with the full moon in Aries, let's see how much of a hero we can be to send out all of our little containers of care packages to help other people who are in a place of entanglement, and we can literally open up the future in a good way for other people. So I really feel like this is just but I don't really see a big difference between the spiritual and the physical. I don't. I feel like every day is a test to do the right thing. I feel like every day is every minute. We're under the tests of Saturn, here, decisions and tests to see what we will do when we know what the right thing is to do. Yeah. Because things could get really challenging for some people. And I don't think we want to be witnessing that when we know that we could have done something. Yes, solar plexus, shine your light, initiate your, if we can all get into our will, our positive will, our positive, assertive will, and just go for it, just help. And if there's any resistance that comes up, if you're afraid that you're not going to have enough, don't do it if you can't. If you cannot, and you need to, first, always take care of yourself. But if it's resistance around something like, oh, I just don't have the time, or who do I call to maybe come pick up all the stuff because I can't lift it and put it in the car myself, and I don't know where to take it, and I don't have the time to figure out where to put that, how do I do all that, right? Stop and think. you could probably handle it. You could probably do the research and figure it out in 15 minutes or a half hour tops. And if you can't lift it, you probably could find somebody who could come and pick things up and see how that goes, to just try it. But to get out of any resistance around it would be the way to go. And yeah, let's just surrender to helping people out in the future and thinking along those terms. And if it's something that you don't get done this week, just start thinking about it maybe, if you want. It's up to you, of course. We all have our free will. I never want to push you to do anything, but I think we're going to have to surrender, notice our resistance, but then surrender to our higher selves. See, that's what a healthy, strong ego does, is it knows to stop and wait and get the guidance from our higher selves, and then our higher selves, our inner beings, will tell us which way to go. And obviously it is to look towards the future. So without this, reading being alarming, I feel like this is just what's on the table for the week, and I can't seem to find any other way to describe it. It's just, from what I'm seeing astrologically, what I'm hearing on the news, and now these cards are showing this, I have to talk about it. So, but now I'm done. Half hour later. Sending you all lots of love. And of course we can all meditate and pray in the affirmative that, the shipments start moving, things get unloaded. I definitely am not worried about Christmas presents and things like that. I mean, that is not something I'm going to be concerned about. Other people may, like, oh, but what about Christmas shopping and Christmas presents and mailing and all of that? No, I think I'd rather focus on making sure people have food myself. So other than that, I'm going to close this up. Wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. Send you lots of love. Take good care. Bye.